First up, we're headed to a place that desperately needs the tourism money, and I know this because they went way back in the balance sheet last week to the 1940s and said, hey, Germany, by the way, you owe us $1 trillion for the most recent time you went full Germany and tried to take over the world, the one when you did the Nazi thing. Of course, I'm talking about Poland.
Yes.
A country who deserves the tourism after their great humanitarian efforts taking in all the Ukrainian refugees. Wait, what's that? Archaeologists in Poland dug up a suspected medieval vampire this weekend. Well, I guess Poland's back off the travel list.
Whew, that's so rough
dumb.
for everybody.
They're so dumb. Why are they doing this?
Doesn't that sound like a classic Polish joke? What did the Polish archaeologists dig up? A formerly trapped vampire.
Yeah.
Right.
You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah! Good
morning! And welcome to episode 1032 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Pat's got a political wrap-up and big business news in the cup of coffee in the big time.
You might want to pay attention if you maybe sometimes see patterns in things. Sometimes maybe see, I don't know, conspiracies.
Yeah. It was a big weekend for conspiracies.
Huge conspiracy weekend.
Most weekends are.
Huge.
Give
Some
them
would
that
say.
many days. Give them a weekend. They're going to find some things.
Holiday weekend. Speaking of, guys, have a good holiday weekend. Everybody, I kind of jumped the shark on that one.
Oh, I did. I'm breathing
to the news.
a little heavy after multiple days in a casino with all the vaping and the daiquiris.
Yeah.
Yeah, my breath is a little bit shorter than usual, which is not saying much, but
I heard you were
short
partying
to
with
extremely
NFL
short.
great Arian Foster, future Hall of Famer, I heard.
I was partying with like 2 millionaires at a casino, which is a dangerous game, but it was a lot of fun.
Did they slide you some chips? Like
No, they
they
were like, let's play at the cheap tables. I was like, thank you.
We're going to play down to you.
That was like the equivalent of sliding chips, but nowhere near as cool.
100%.
No, yeah.
How many times throughout the weekend did you Google Arian Foster career earnings?
I didn't do that. I was respectful of that.
It's the first thing I do.
Yeah. He bought a couple nice bottles of wine and shared them. So that was
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, on deck, Wes, the rest of you guys, good.
Oh, I worked every day.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
A marathon of weddings.
Yeah.
That's almost the same. That's almost the same as partying with millionaires at a casino.
I'll tell you about something I did after we're done talking about what the stories are going to be. On deck, Wes has a bitter farewell to Serena Williams, really changing it up a little bit from the coffee there.
Yeah, we talked some women's tennis and about a bitter, very bitter old woman by the name of Margaret Court. Ever heard of her?
Yes.
Only
Is
from the
she the woman in the background?
that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She looks mean.
Can you look more old and Australian than this woman?
She looks like those dogs. What are those like those Australian?
I thought German, honestly.
Yeah.
She looks like those tall, expensive dogs.
Yeah.
She's very serious, that's for sure. Mark has a
Yeah, Afghans.
a little bit like an Afghan. Mark's got a bloody TikTok international moment in the hole. So watch out. It's going to get bloody. And then we've got an update lightning round. Other updates that we don't cover in the rest of the show to close it out. I'll take you through. Something I promised you guys that's opposite of gambling in a casino with millionaires. So today before the show, my wife and I built a tent castle tent for the little girl. And, it's always like difficult putting together toys. And this is like a big toy. And as soon as we got her in there, poop came out of the diaper onto the floor of the tent, like immediately. After
But is it nylon?
Yeah, nylon. And like
she
spent
crapped the tent
Wasn't wool,
immediately.
right. Like we'd even
She was excited.
She was
Mark
accidentally like we had to like restart the tent twice because we had like put the poles upside down. So we were like, well, we want to get it right. We don't want to do it shitty. So, whoops. And then she immediately as soon as she
My
got
tent.
in there,
Classic.
some shit on the floor.
She shot the tent.
Cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Right away, like within 15 seconds of going in there and
Make it
finding
more
out that she
homey in
liked
here.
it.
That's right. You didn't build a
Popped out.
bathroom.
She pops her head up. You see that?
It was
That's
my
my daughter
fault.
she's talking like Sling Blade.
I was playing with her on what I knew was a full diaper though, so that's always a dangerous game. And
Yeah.
that's
New toy,
You
full
knew it was
diaper.
full of shit.
Well, she was like, you know how if like you can't just grab her out of nowhere to change it, that could cause a whole tantrum. It's a whole thing.
It's 50-50, Willie. Will sounds like he's got the sniffles, so you just don't know whether it's shit or piss. It's like he was at the casino, you know?
Oh, I caught what she had. The croops. Is that something?
The Croops?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Group cough?
I don't know.
It sounds
Yeah,
like a
that's
terrible
it.
family movie in an RV, like hanging with the Croops.
Let's do the coffee.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Massive college football weekend, right? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Tough beat for LSU. I mean, Jesus Christ, but we didn't deserve to win that game. But what an electric
It was
game.
weird that they had a chance to win at the end. It was like
It was
surreal.
very weird.
Well, who
But-
pitches it at the 1?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, both teams wanted to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's talk college football for a second, though. But I want to talk something not so specific, more broad, granular. Granular, broad? No, those words mean the opposite. I want to talk a bigger idea here. Name, image, and likeness, right? So I was thinking about this. You guys saw C.J. Stroud, QB for Ohio State.
Yeah.
He bought. I don't think he bought, but he has a deal with Express. He gave all his teammates $500 Express gift cards. They could buy a suit before the Notre Dame game. They won. Go figure. Very cool. Athletes are getting paid. And then it made me think, man, like the NBA is the league that you could get into probably earliest, youngest, right? Way earlier than the NFL. And then football, professional football is the other one. And that's why we see recruiting for young basketball players and young soccer players start at like 8, 9, 10 years old, right? And that's when a pro contract is an option. Think about what's going to be happening to youth sports. What do you guys think is going to happen to youth sports now that they've essentially made it one level easier to
They're
become
going to get a lot more
millionaire?
competitive.
Oh, it's going to be a lot more
Videos.
competitive, brother.
The Angry Dad videos are going to be phenomenal.
Through the roof. Through the roof.
Just like,
Because
I mean, just like in Europe, they've had this forever. Like you could. That's why kids have gone to academies from the start, you know, and like those are all sponsored by
Yeah,
corporations.
like tennis. people
yes,
play-
but
yeah.
that's a pro situation. I'm talking about how many people make it to the pros, right?
Yeah, NIL is like now you can
Multiply
do it
that
on-
by 10. That's how many more millionaires there's going to be.
And
No,
a lot
yeah,
of people
it's-
are just dumpy dumps once they get to the pros too. So you can get paid as a
Lots of
college
kids
athlete.
will like there'll be lots of like Freddie Adu NIL stars.
Hell yeah.
Right. Well,
Hell
now
yeah.
they have like it's also going to be. There's a lot of kids that are
But-
good, but also personalities are going to play into it. Like, do you have the look? Do you have cool hair? Are
Big
you like,
time.
popular on social media? Then
Big
you're
time.
going to become a millionaire too. As
That
at
two-armed
college.
quarterback that
Yeah,
that
that
everybody's
kid.
looking at, the ambidextrous
He probably
quarterback.
sucks, but he can throw it with both hands.
Right.
two
And now,
arms.
he got retweeted by people. Yeah, he's got two. It's crazy. Hey, Wes, this speaking of all of this young athletes, it makes me wonder what Coach Wes thinks about the situation and also how Coach Wes is doing as a coach.
Oh, about the college athletes, I think it's great. I think they should get paid. And
Yeah, just like how's your coaching
wait
going?
Till all these young assholes start coming out of the woodwork. Coach Wes, I haven't been coaching, but now the Fadathon is in full gear. I have put my coach's cap back on, and you're going to see just exactly what this program can do.
Are we now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
That's what I love to hear. Excellent.
Well, I like to see it. In other college football news, talk about really, really making it harder for coaches' sons. Dion's kid. His name is Shredder, right? It should be, because Jesus Christ, that kid lit it up. Absolutely insane.
He had more touchdown passes than incompletions.
Yeah,
For Jackson State,
Yeah.
yeah. Dion's kid is the real deal. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
they
insane.
won 59 to
who do
3.
they play?
They played
some te-
Florida A&M.
But Florida A&M gave UNC like a good game
The
recently.
vaunted.
Well,
Yeah,
59,
the
59 to
Raptor.
3 against Florida A&M is no joke.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, on the NIL thing, the professor, thinking of that N1 situation, guys like the professor that could never play in the pros,
gets
but like
paid.
are really talented. Those guys are going to make cash in the NIL situation. The
Yeah,
name,
it's
image,
like
and likeness in
Wilson, the
college.
kid with two arms that weighs like 120 pounds. Double
Your
the
Jim
arms of
Abbott's.
Def Leppard
Exactly.
drummer. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, a new study in the journal Nature Geoscience was published on Monday, and it suggests that we're a little bit fucked. There's an Antarctic glacier called the Thwaites Glacier, Some are calling it the Doomsday Glacier. And initially, scientists said it would be breaking off in 5 years' time. That was in December 2021. Now they're saying, think again, going to be breaking off a lot sooner than that. And this thing has the possibility,
How
the capability, potentially less than 5 years is what they're saying.
It already broke
This
off.
year?
Yeah.
Could be. And this fucker has the capability of raising sea level by several feet, potentially. The quote, Thwaites is really holding on today by its fingernails, and we should expect it. We should expect to see big changes over small timescales in the future, even from 1 year to the next, once the glacier retreats beyond a shallow ridge in its bed. So there you have it, boys. But in all seriousness, that would be bad.
Well,
really bad.
don't worry, Pat, because the tech billionaires have us covered. I'm going to tell you how they're going to save us from that at the end of the show today.
Oh, nice. They figured out how to freeze water.
Well, they figured out how to save some of us,
Okay.
namely themselves, but we'll talk about it at the end.
Well,
Does it involve leaving Earth?
Oh no, Wes.
something different. Okay.
What about living underwater?
You'll see.
Gills? Smart. Waterworld. Great
Yeah.
movie.
It's less complicated and more disappointing.
Guys, over the weekend, I saw a headline, caught my eye. It was a little bit of an older story, but it was like one of those evergreen headlines. Like, I don't know if you follow Hard Factor, it might be something like Group of Indian Men Force Orgy on Lizard, that kind of evergreen. It's good all the time. The headline was, college student makes $110 million trading shares of Bed Bath & Beyond. Did you see this?
I did.
Yeah, immediately I felt threatened, but then also intrigued. So I clicked through. And it turns out, according to the article, it's from a couple weeks back, but here's the gist. It's a feel-good story about a 20-year-old college student named Jake Freeman. Here's a picture of Jake. I don't know how this is a real photo that he uploaded as a 20-year-old college student, but it is.
That's the kid from Damien grown up.
It's very similar.
Yeah, he did a lot of like airbrushing on himself.
Hell, you know what it looks like? It looks like a photo taken in the 1920s that was restored.
Looks
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like what's his name's like one of his friends from A Beautiful Mind.
Exactly.
Hey, you guys ever want to feel good about yourselves? This is what you do. You take any popular movie that's like at all like sci-fi at all, and then you just press pause on any frame and you just look at how CGI'd the faces of all the stars are.
There you
Like
go.
it's incredible. Like they might as well not even wear makeup these days because the computer just like puts a fake face on them.
Soon enough, they won't even be acting. But take a look at Jake's face because you're going to need to feel better pretty soon. Yeah. So Jake, 20-year-old college student, Jake Freeman, made $110 million by selling his stake in retailer Bed Bath & Beyond. He got a shit ton of stocks of it after the company's stock price surged over a 1 month period this summer. And how did Lucky Jake pull off this feat? I had to know. It's pretty simple, guys. Turns out all that Jake did was he bought $25 million worth of Bed Bath & Beyond stock.
Just a little startup cash.
Right? And then sold it for more than $130 million when it pumped because of stuff like, I don't know, the meme stock situation, Wall Street Bets, Phenom. It's just that simple, guys.
Nice. How did he have the 25 mil?
Did you see his picture?
He's Jake
Right.
Freeman.
Yeah,
It's Jake Freeman.
Yeah.
Right.
Of the
I mean,
Freemans.
Okay.
Are we
know
serious? I
about
mean,
the
but
Freemans?
for real. But for real, no one's calling this shit out, right? It's just a feel good college student makes $110 million from buying $25 million worth of
From
stock.
$25 million inheritance
Third of
Right.
his name.
from Trust Me.
I literally didn't have $25 in college. I was
What a feel-good
overdrafting my
story.
account every week.
You got to be happy for Jake and the Freemans on this.
Would you
one.
want to have that color hair though?
No, I wouldn't, guys. Jake got the $25 million by raising money from friends and family. Again, come on, bro, with this bullshit. But
Oh,
yeah.
right. As in, like it was given to him by his.
Well,
family.
he went to.
Raising
He
means
had
given, yeah.
friends and family who were willing to give.
Uncle, would you like to give me $3 million for this investment?
Right, give old 20-year-old
Uncle.
Jake a $25 million flyer.
pretty nice.
Dance for me,
while they're
Jakey.
sipping lemonades that black people are bringing out on silver platters to
Do the
them. and
dance your
they're
uncle
doing
loves.
croquet in the grass.
The Freemans are going to be able to afford servants for generations to come, thanks to Jake. You know,
Oh
Yeah, sure, Jake. I'll give you that. But I'm gonna take it out. Anyway, guys.
old money's secured, and he drinks
is not
another
the
brandy. Like,
But I
off
want you to
somebody's
push
back,
over that
like he-
butler.
Yeah, he picks it up off somebody's bent over. Who's, like,
Cut him, Jake.
acting as a
Kick
drink
Wiggins
holder.
in the nuts.
Kick Wiggins the nuts and it's yours.
Did you say 25 million? But okay, not the point of the story, but fucking ridiculous. Fuck you, Jake. But a little bit about the meme stock phenomenon that allowed Jake to make so much cash, if you forgot, right? So essentially, Wall Street Bets, the Reddit subthread, the subreddit, what they did was essentially organize a bunch of retail traders, right, to artificially pump up the price of a stock, like a failing company, usually a brick and mortar like Bed Bath & Beyond or GameStop, to squeeze the hedge funders, right?
AMC?
That had put short positions on these brick and mortar companies, right? It's like a little fuck you for the 2008 financial collapse, right? Like a Robin Hood thing, right? Super cool. And good for Jake, right? But not good for Bed Bath & Beyond CFO Gustavo Arnal, or should I say former CFO, because he jumped from his 18th floor New York City balcony on Friday.
Oh, was he max shorted on his own company?
Ooh, it's not that, William. It's something even dirtier.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? What was it?
Yeah, he was getting sued for fraud.
Big time. Yeah, Arnell's plunge, guys, mirrors that of Bed Bath & Beyond stock, which went from 2308 on August 17th to 863 on closing on Friday. And Arnell's death comes just 2 weeks after he was named in a federal class action lawsuit alleging him of insider trading, right?
Oh, he helped the meme stock push. Oh.
Yep, you know who he was working with? The mean stomp king,
The
Ryan
Freemans.
Cohen. Yeah. Oh, so okay,
And
here's
Jake
my
Freeman, for
conspiracy
sure.
theory.
I mean, Jake Freeman was in on it early.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Uncle Gustavo.
No one's
So
calling.
he
it
worked with
fucking
Wall
Jake
Street
Freeman.
Bets to do this?
So no, not Wall Street Bets, but guy Ryan Cohen, right? Ryan Cohen is he's an activist investor. He was on the board of GameStop. He owned the majority of GameStop. He was essentially like he was like, hey, I'm an activist investor and let's go get him, guys. But he was seriously benefiting and he was colluding with the CFO of Bed Bath & Beyond. Right. They also, I guess just a couple days ago, maybe Wednesday
Which
or
would
Tuesday.
constitute definite insider trade.
Big time. They announced
Jump
that
off a building insider trade.
100%, big
Right.
time.
Yeah. You're not
They
getting
were
away
shuttering
with it.
150
Stuff, yeah.
stores, cutting 20% of their staff. Bed Bath & Beyond said last
Yep.
week. Now, Ryan,
It's like all the coupons they hand out to make their prices
a lot.
normal.
yeah, they are expensive.
They're so expensive.
It's a good point, Wes. It's a real tent sale in there.
How much money did they waste on printing those things? Probably
The coupons?
Probably millions in printing those friggin'
yeah.
coupons.
The coupons is what brought them down in the end. Probably.
Yeah, that was not a good idea in hindsight.
A lot of overhead on the
Yeah.
coupon.
Burning the candle from both ends. You're discounting, and it's costing you to give them out.
Yep.
Guys, check this out. Cohen made $68 million on this shit, but Arnal only made $1.4 million, which is
Oh, that'll make you jump out of a
No
building.
wonder, no
Yeah.
wonder he jumped. Jeez.
Yeah.
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 No, he could have made more. That's my point. He could have made a lot more,
Right.
but he
Cohen
didn't. He didn't sell all his
made
stuff.
enough money to build an 18-floor building.
Because
The
he
other guy
thought he
jumped
was
out
going to
of
get
18
away
foot
with
building,
it. Like he maybe like in his crazy mind, he didn't realize he was committing a huge federal crime.
I think it's harder for the CFO to like sell all the stock versus.
Well, but he's a CFO, so he must have known.
oh, he
what
knew
was doing
big time,
Yeah.
big time. Anyway,
Wow.
fucked up shit. But really, guys, let's look at this Jake Freeman motherfucker.
Sounds like a time
I
to
mean,
buy.
Just saying.
Oh, on Bed Bath? Maybe so, Wes. They're only closing 20%, right? That's what Pat said?
Yeah.
20% off.
Oh no. Laying off 20% of their staff, closing 150 stores.
Oh, that's probably more than 20% of the stores.
50
Okay.
stores.
It's a lot of stores.
Do you think Bed Bath & Beyond is gonna be around? You think?
No.
No,
I mean,
No, I don't
wouldn't.
think so.
Somebody's got a wedding registry. I guess Amazon's going to take over that game.
Correct.
I wouldn't.
On the drive out to La Berge, there was like 150 Amazon factories, like the storage factories. Like they're good. They're gonna be all right. Amazon's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
take
gonna be
over.
Amazon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Amazon.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the top story of the day. Or
The cream of the crop!
we talked about it last week. The potential of a very, very special master, the most special master of all, to review the documents, the 11,000 documents that were seized from Mar-a-Lago. It looks like we got a special master, boys. It's happening. Federal Judge Eileen M. Cannon of the Federal District Court for Southern Florida on Monday ordered a special master, in fact, to come in and review
So
the
like
documents.
Trump's backyard judge.
Big time. Also appointed by Trump. Judge Cannon, this is a real weird one. Judge Cannon said her decision was, quote, to ensure at least the appearance of fairness and integrity under the extraordinary circumstances. Weird thing for a judge to say. But that's not the weird part, if you ask me.
Well, this is funny, too, though, because the other judge that signed something related to this thing was like an anti-Trump judge. So this is showing off, this whole thing is showing off the polarization of the court, too.
Oh, yeah, big time. Court, two sides. She also said something that makes absolutely no sense. So follow me on this one, guys. So this is her reasoning for signing the special master, and is that Trump faced, quote, unquantifiable potential harm by way of improper disclosure of sensitive information to the public. So that's why she's assigning the special master, essentially taking the documents away from the DOJ. So he has buku documents that the government was like, hey, you can't keep those, right? We want them back. And his team was like, oh, you want these? You can't have them. They were playing games, right? But they shouldn't have been there in the first place. But then the judge is saying that Trump could face unquantifiable potential harm if the documents that he wasn't supposed to be storing in his unsecured hotel, which is the whole reason that the government went to go take them back in the first place, were to be leaked. He would then face harm. Right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's what she's saying. She's also saying the illusion of fairness.
There was only one path to the special master.
Right. Now, here's the situation. Trump could have some personal stuff mixed in there, right, with the government documents that didn't belong to him, that he was asked to return. And the warrant allowed for the seizure of boxes that maybe contained government docs, even if there was personal stuff mixed in, which apparently is standard. But the judge herself noted that Trump's personal items were identified, I guess, and set aside by a, quote, filter team of federal agents who were walled off from the team investigating Trump himself. So there was like a sorting personal documents team, I guess. But the Justice Department is like fucking pissed because essentially means they can't do anything, period, until the special master comes in, does their master thing, gets their mitts on it, and
just resorts the documents.
No,
it's 11,000 documents.
They're going to go through.
They do a little more than that, Wes.
They're going to go through, and I think they're going to go through, and they're basically by reviewing it, there's going to be some type of determination of whether or not the raid was justified. Also, like the FBI got rid of somebody related to the Hunter Biden laptop thing last week, because basically I think like a lot of this like politicization or whatever, I don't know how to say that word, but of the courts and of like the DOJ and shit, it's like getting to a level where it's pretty obvious, and so people like the rats are jumping off the sinking ship, kind of, or they're like they're finally like holding people accountable in some situations.
Who knows? But but look, point is, he shouldn't have the documents, but then they're saying his personal stuff might get out with the documents he shouldn't have had because it was mixed in, and they can't trust the DOJ.
He wants this to happen, and I'm pretty sure the people that ordered the raid wanted the raid to happen to get him back in the headlines. It just seems like it's a two sides that are happy to be a part of the special master circus.
He's like, no, my personal documents that I placed with the other documents, me giving to charities and my waist looking pretty thin have gotten out.
Right.
There's all these flattering personal documents.
Yeah.
the penis-sized documents in there.
Oh, my God, look at the view of my penis. It looks huge. And this
on the other side of the aisle, guys, Joe Biden gave a Labor Day speech yesterday in Wisconsin, a state whose workforce is mostly made up of dairy farmers, which is literally the only industry that has to work on Labor Day because someone's got to milk the fucking cows. Kind of an inconsiderate thing to do for farmers who support Biden. It's like Kid Rock putting his tour on sale at the beginning of the quarter when he knows that court-ordered child support is due at the beginning of the quarter.
What did he use for the background of this speech? Like a bunch of slaves or something?
Oh, we're getting into the background. No, he took extra
Black
special
guys
care.
hoeing in the background.
It was a mirror.
It's a chain gang. I mean, he had to follow up the Red Marines with something.
Yeah,
right. He hired the Axis of Evil Event Solutions to do the uplighting at his last one.
the image from 1984 behind him.
Right, no, it was a mirror so that anyone who had bad things to say about the speech would just be insulting themselves. He said this, guys. Here's a clip of Biden clarifying his comments from last week.
I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican is a MAGA Republican. Not every Republican embraces that extreme ideology. I know because I've been able to work with mainstream Republicans my whole career.
Is that his stunt
But
double
the
behind
extreme
him?
MAGA Republicans in Congress have chosen to go backwards, full of anger, violence, hate, and division.
That's Bo Jiden.
But together, we can and we must choose a different path. Forward. No, I really mean it.
What does that even? So
He's
last
he's
week
saying he still
said,
hates MAGA Republicans, but other
last week
Republicans
he's like,
are cool.
you're all terrible, and this week he's like, no, just half of you are fucking terrible.
That's
Fuck
not what he said.
you. The rest of you, we can be all right.
It's not what he said at all.
Kind of right. I mean,
It was a bit of us.
it'd be like a Republican saying, "Fuck the progressives," but the middle libs, they're
Fuck
okay.
the woke.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it'll be
Exactly
kind of
the same.
specifying a specific movement.
Well,
But
it's
look,
the same thing. It's like the two wings. It's like the two parts of the party. It's the same thing on both parties.
yeah, I think the big
Right,
disconnect
like
for
the
me was
T.
that I don't think voting for Trump in 2016 makes you a MAGA Republican. I think that's the difference where it kind of got blurred a little bit. And anyway, look, people got offended. Whatever. It was a political meatball that Biden lobbed up to his detractors. But he wasn't the only politician that gave a speech recently. Trump gave a speech at a rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to support gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, and then of
your
course
favorite word?
Dr. Mehmet Oz. And Trump, he worked in the hits, man. He did the whole election is rigged bit. He did the whole not saying Dr. Oz's first name bit. He did the whole FBI went through Melania's panty drawer and also went
No
through
chance he knows Oz's first name.
16-year-old Baron's room,
Ozzy,
shattering.
Oz, the Oz man.
No, he just won't say it.
The wizard.
It's Mehmet, and he's afraid to say it. But guys, his speech backdrop wasn't exactly out of the Raiders of the Lost Ark like Biden's was last week. But it was pretty interesting, and I'm going to put up some photos from his speech background. He had all the classics. So, of course, he had the Blacks for Trump guy. We know this guy.
He always has a Blacks for
Is
Trump
that
guy.
an
right?
Amish for
look at that
Trump
guy.
on the left? Who's
we're
the
gonna get to
Amish
him,
guy?
For sure, that's an Amish for Trump. Mark.
He had the he had
100%.
a new group which would make hard.
No, that's not new. Bikers
Symbology
for Trump.
antenna beep like a microwave.
I feel like bikers for Trump have been around. I feel like they
Bikers for
have.
Trump. Wes, thoughts on that symbol?
I mean, it's not
Makes
the
you
worst
think.
I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, it makes you think, but the motorcycle is, it's not a bird looking to the side or
They do a lot to clear it up with like the American flag colors and the bright gold outline.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
really trying to make it unracist if they can, but
Right.
by nature it's
It's
an
got the
aggressive
Proud Boy
symbol.
yellow though.
It's tough.
Yeah,
The
Bikers
small
for
one from
Trump
far.
is
It makes you
tough.
want to zoom in and check on it.
the far one definitely from far away. Yeah.
But guys, they were in Pennsylvania, and Trump even got the Amish vote out. I didn't know these guys could vote. I mean, they must be
No,
an extended
remember
Rumspringer.
Trump's huge with the Amish. Remember that was the video that got BNN's Twitter account over 100,000. Was the Amish Trump? We retweeted the Amish for Trump right before the election.
It's amazing.
It was hilarious. They had like the buggies and shit going.
A bunch
out
of
for Trump.
buggies pull up to the polling station. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like buggies with Trump signs on it and shit. Like the Amish go crazy for Trump. It's crazy.
They love Trump.
Yeah, they do.
But guys,
it's nuts.
It wouldn't be a Trump rally without Donald Trump himself hammering a message of American freedom while subtextually working in his deep respect and borderline sexual arousal for authoritarian governments and their leaders. Here's a clip about freedom.
Leaders, and let me tell you, unlike our leader, they're at the top of their game. These are like central casting. There's nobody that could play the role in Hollywood. All of Hollywood, nobody can play the role of President Xi of China. Nobody could play the role. He's a fierce person.
Nobody.
Putin, fierce.
Henry Cahill, I don't think so.
You know, a lot of times I'll say somebody's smart,
Valley.
and the fake news will go, he called President Xi smart. He rules with an iron fist 1.5 billion people. Yeah, I'd
It's
say
not the
he's
smart
Wouldn't
part.
you
It's
say
that.
he's
That's
smart?
the problem,
I'd say
Donald.
smart.
So I'm with President Xi, and I got along with him very well. I mean, once COVID came, it was just, but we made a great trade deal with him, helped our farmers, helped our manufacturers. But I'm with him, and I really had a great relationship with him. And then I asked him a question. I said, President, he's president for life, by the way. So I call him King. I say, King. He said, but I am not King. I said, you are to me. You're president for life. It's the
You are
same
to me.
thing.
Yeah. So,
He
there you
calls
go.
him
Rules with
king.
an iron fist. That's good.
I love his authoritarianism. What a genius. Yeah.
But that's freedom,
So
guys.
you rule 1.5 billion people.
I want you to be more free, like G's people. Drug dealer,
Yeah.
we'll kill him.
He's
some
weird.
reason-
His Putin. I'll never forget his first press conference with Putin, where he just looked like a Putin's bitch. He may have well been holding
He looked
Putin's
starstruck.
pocket during
Yeah.
the entire press conference. It was so embarrassing.
The folks at the rallies, they just can't put it together. I don't know why. They're like, yeah, we're freedom. We're America, guys. And
Well, I'll tell you what.
Iron Fist.
You went from Putin's pocket
Rule
holder
us.
to a fucking zombie. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, people are shell shocked. It's like you went from bad to worse, and or whatever your opinion of it is. You went from shit to shit, and it's and
it's
so
always
people
been
are,
the same rhetoric.
People,
from
well, but with
Regardless of who's in
these two
office.
presidents back to back, they're so bad, historically terrible, both of them. And so it just really puts America in a fucking behind the eight ball. You know, it's like we're in a real fucking jam with these two losers, these two old idiots. So.
Well, maybe an Iron Fist would solve it, guys. And I want to talk to the football fans out there
Please.
because the first Sunday of NFL season, it's here. And DraftKings Sportsbook,
Finally.
an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving new customers a can't-miss offer to celebrate the return of the NFL season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. What? And get $200 in free bets instantly. And as an added bonus for week one, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. Bet an NFL team to win. Okay. And if your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses.
That's right.
What?
Early win.
That's the early win promo.
Early win promo, baby.
Okay, how do
Get
we
in
do
on
it? Well, you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now
You
and use promo code HARDFACTOR, one word, to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet this Sunday. That's it. The code, HARDFACTOR, one word, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimal age and eligibility restrictions apply, guys. See the show notes for details.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, I'm signing up for our own promo. Please do.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Tis the season.
Well, what you're going to want to do is go to patreon.com/hardfactor, join the Discord, get all of the awesome bets we make. We were on fire last year. We're going to be on fire again for the
Plus,
weekly
we're adding the
NFL
wheel as
parlays.
another picker.
and then
so-
use the picks in the parlay and from the wheel on this DraftKings promotion. I don't
gonna
want to
hit
say
that big
want
boy
to say
this
it's
year.
guaranteed money, but I mean,
Yeah, and we'll probably
strong.
launch the parlay, the
Pretty
weekly
strong.
parlay, a little bit later in this week. Keep an eye out for by third. Well, there's a Thursday night game, right? Yeah.
yeah, but we don't do the Thursday night games. We do we usually we don't do that. We usually just do all.
It's coming
Sundays
at
and
me
Mondays.
fast and furious.
Yeah, you're not going to make it by Thursday. Let's just say it comes out like you can start voting on Thursday probably for the Sunday
Yeah,
games.
keep an eye out if you're in the Patreon for the weekly parlay pool Thursday.
Oh, and a good reason to get in there.
That's a new car. Speaking of money, another great sponsor that we have is Upside. From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts, right in the wallet. You know, that's why we started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone that buys gas, groceries, or dines out. So, I mean, most of us, right? I'd say 99.9% of us, probably.
Yeah, anyone with two arms.
Right. Yeah. With every
quarterback?
purchase, that's right. You're earning cash back thanks to Upside. I use it at the gas station every time I pump gas. I check the app, check in at the gas station. Oh, 20 cents back for each gallon here. I think I'll go there and save myself some money. Then I'm going to use that money I saved, maybe make a bet over at DraftKings. Who knows? You know, might just do it that way. Because you can just put it right in your bank account, or you can get gift cards, whatever you choose to do with that extra money, you can do. So to get started, Download the free Upside app. Use promo code HARDFACTOR. You get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more, which is, just your first fill up. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with the credit card or debit card, and get paid. Boom. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store.
Like the boys.
Oh,
You know what I thought? Sorry to interrupt you again.
Yeah,
The
no,
free
go
app,
for it.
but
Yeah.
I always thought I could make millions of dollars on creating an app that just told you where the cheapest gas was, which is exactly what Upside does. Then they give you an Upside discount, so it tells you on the map where you need to go, how many tenths of a mile you're away, and shows you. And then you go there, and they give you a discount on top of
They
it. So you already,
perfected it.
yes, it's like
And then they say, hey, after you're done pumping gas, if you're hungry, maybe try this restaurant and get some cash back while you eat.
yeah.
So download the free Upside app. Use promo code HARDFACTOR. Get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase, $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase, $10 or more, using promo code HARDFACTOR, all one word. All right. Guys, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't know how else to say it. I don't like Serena Williams.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Wes,
like
you've
her.
always for people that don't know, Wes has always been a Venus guy. Or I mean,
I
yeah,
I have.
yeah.
I always have been. Always been. I even liked
You
her
like
in the.
Venus.
Yeah, I still prefer Venus over Serena, 100%.
Okay,
I
but
even
why
liked
do you
her in the
dislike
King
Serena?
Richard movie better.
Yeah.
I didn't like Serena in that either. Hated that little girl.
Serena was barely in. Okay, all right. Okay.
Oh, she's barely in
Couldn't
it. She
tell
was-
which one was which in that movie.
Yeah, you could.
Well,
she was the
yeah,
younger
you
one.
could.
It's about Richard.
No. What are you kidding me?
Have you seen the movie?
You've never.
No.
You've never seen the movie.
You've
yet.
definitely
Did
not
see
seen
it.
the
It was-
movie.
It
I saw
all
it.
of-
I saw it, and they were gonna nominate Will Smith, and I thought it was bullshit because it was just an okay movie. You know who killed in
He
that
did a good
movie?
job.
I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah,
was
the
a great
guy,
movie.
like the Punisher, John Bernthal or whatever. Yeah.
John Bernthal killed in that movie.
Yeah.
He should have gotten nominated.
I was trying
The
to say
little girl
Henry
that played
Golding
Serena,
earlier
awful.
during the speech. He's the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, not Henry Cavill.
She's
no,
pretty-
but
The age that they're at during the movie, it's very clear which daughter is which.
I've never followed tennis.
It's all about
I don't
Venus.
know.
It's all about Venus. She
Yeah.
got coached and Serena didn't.
Right.
I got it.
Exactly.
And then it was her shot later. I understand.
Which plays into what a whiny little bitch Serena is nowadays.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're
Not
talking
a
about
fan.
like the greatest female player of all time, though, right? I mean,
But is she though, Will? No, she's not.
Okay.
And as you heard, she's retiring. This U.S. Open was her last.
maybe she didn't
maybe.
slam the door shut.
She pretty much kind of did. She might come
She
back,
didn't-
but she's having a great time being a mom, which is great.
didn't
whatever.
make it to the
Good.
final, did she?
No, she didn't
No,
make it to the final.
no.
But
Serena's the older one, or
No,
Venus?
she's the
No,
younger
Venus
one.
is.
Younger.
But Serena has way more championships. Way more.
Serena's a
experience.
better tennis player, not better looking.
Oh man, you're being brutal.
But how do you expect to win against Serena? Look at her. Look at those muscles. She's incredible.
Powerful.
She's a powerful lady.
She would overpower everybody at Wimbledon in the
And that's what
past.
she did. That's what she did.
How mad do you think Venus got that Razor commercial was huge when she was huge?
Venus.
Venus took
Yeah,
off
the
way
Venus
before
Razor.
Serena.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, she's years older than her. She turned pro sooner, so she was
Yeah.
the first Williams sister to take advantage of all the advertising. But I'm going to play you guys a little clip of here's a little mixtape of some of Serena's meltdowns and what a whiner she's been over the years.
Man, this is
Here we go.
mean. Okay.
Cherry picked all the worst moments.
Don't go look the other way. You're out of control. You're a hater, and you're just unattractive inside. And I never complain. Wow.
I can't believe she's turning it around and making herself a victim.
What a loser. We're going to get violated for water. Really, don't even look at me. I promise you, don't look at me. Because I am not the one. You attacking my character. Yes, you are. You owe me an apology.
What years are these?
Never,
Wes?
ever be on another
is
court of mine as
2018.
long as you live. When are you going to give me my apology?
The famous meltdown of the US Open.
You owe me an apology. Say it. Say
Say
you're
it.
sorry.
Say you're sorry.
And that's not right. This is not fair.
Here
This
she
has
is
happened to me
crying.
too many times. This is not fair. But you know how many other men do things?
Now she's sexy. She was yelling in the middle of the court.
She shot it in the middle of that shot. The ball had not landed, and she was saying, come on. She should play a
Let's open up Oregon and let us play on this.
Sam is looking at it there. This is before. See, she touched it after she yelled. That's bad
That's
form.
illegal.
That is bad form.
That's bad form.
That's bad form.
You heard her. That's bad form. So if you didn't know,
That's not that bad for 20 years of professional sports. That's not that bad.
Amazing.
That's pretty bad. If you didn't know, Serena
Bad form, though. I mean, she had bad form that one
she's
time.
a poor sport. She complains a lot. She's terrible about her. Serena has had quite the career since turning pro at the age of 14 in 1995. 73 singles titles, Olympic gold medal, 319 weeks at world number one. Together with Venus, she won 14 major double titles and 3 Olympic golds. She has 6 U.S. Open
Venus
titles.
And Serena versus 2 not Venus and Serena's.
It was a slaughter every time. 7 Wimbledons, 3 French
I mean, they'll be
Opens.
able to do that until they're like 70, right?
Yeah, they should just
destroy all doubles teams.
She should just show up to majors and do doubles with her sister. Yeah. Grand slams.
It's like Keanu Reeves giving Bill or Ted another movie. That's
Alex
Serena-
Winter?
Yeah, that's what Serena does every time she plays.
He's a filmmaker in his own right, Wes.
Sure. So 7 Australian Open titles. She's got 23 Grand Slam titles. It's
pretty good record, right?
No, not at all. Leaving her 1 ahead of Steffi Graf with 22, but 1 behind a woman named Margaret Court. And if you didn't know who Margaret Court is, she's an Australian. She played from the early 60s to the late 70s, and she has 24 Grand Slam titles.
But
hang on. Why did it say 13 and 11?
Well, this is before there was like some circuit that they started.
Yeah, it was
So it was
Margaret
less
Court versus
competitive.
one other person.
It's a moot point. She's got 24 Grand Slam titles.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Does
that's what it reflects. That's what everyone is agreed to. That's in tennis. Anyway, she's
Interesting.
more titles than any other player. And
But they all agree to.
yeah, after trouncing
Every
her
last
opponent.
one of them.
That's right. So in the U.S. Open, after trouncing her opponent in the straight sets in round 1, Serena started, everyone started getting hyped with her. Her second round win was against world number 2, Annette Kontaveit. Everyone was sure Serena was going to go out with one final Grand Slam, tie the old Australian bitch, Margaret Court. Maybe you heard her cocky response to the interview after winning, saying, "I'm just Serena." That was a really famous one.
Bad form.
But it wasn't to be. Very bad form. As Serena lost her next match to Australian Aja Tomljanovic, which really must have pleased Australian Margaret Court, whose Grand Slam record was safe for the time being, and it certainly pleased me. And I sent a text.
Did you watch it live? Like,
no, I was keeping an eye on it, and I sent a text to the
Google
boys.
alert
So glad Serena lost.
You did.
Yeah, no, you were
did
really
send
happy.
that text.
I did.
Right after it happened.
Yeah, immediately. However, after Serena's loss, Margaret just couldn't help herself. She was just so fucking happy that this black chick from Compton didn't break her record. She was bursting at the seams to tell everyone what was on her 80-year-old mind. Not a good idea, usually. So in an interview via telephone with the Telegraph from Britain, Margaret gave a rare interview in the wake of Serena's final loss, saying, quote, "Serena, I've admired her as a player, but I don't think she ever admired me." The clearly bitter and forgotten Court goes on to say, "It's very sad because a lot of the press and television today, particularly in tennis, don't want to mention my name. It's only when they have to, because I still hold so many records. In 2020, I was meant to be coming to Wimbledon for the 50th anniversary on my calendar Grand Slam, but then COVID hit, so the honor never happened. The French Open didn't invite me. The U.S. Open didn't invite me. Rod Laver had won the Slam, and I was to be honored in the same way, but no. I didn't lose any sleep over it. Okay, sure. But the honor has not been there for what I did do in my own nation. I've been given titles, but they would still rather not mention me. Yeah, because you're a bitter pill, or maybe it's because she's an old bigot that in 2012 publicly opposed same-sex marriage in Australia, and in 2017 declared that she was going to boycott the national airline of Australia, Qantas, over its support for gay marriage. So now we're getting to the bottom of it. Those
I
gays
found another
marrying.
quote here. Did you find? Do you have this quote?
What's that?
She said, "If I had things my way, they wouldn't even be allowed to play like before."
Right. I
don't know if she's referring to who they is in that.
Who they are.
Yeah.
I think
something tells me it's back to a simpler time when she may have won her non-unified Masters.
Serena wouldn't even have been allowed to play. I think
in the
she's
early
saying.
'60s. Yeah. So nobody likes this old cunt. Even in Australia, they're lobbying to rename Melbourne Park's Margaret Court Arena, honoring this old hater.
Wes, please, it's Melbourne.
Melbourne. Sorry, Melbourne. The R always gets me. Like they do over there.
No, how it's spelled makes it confusing.
Yeah, it's insane how they say it. So, to that court said, well, they got everything they wanted in marriage and everything else. Those queers got it all with all their complaining about it. They will never be happy.
No,
so
they
she
won't, will they?
She went on
Sounds
to
like
say,
she is, huh? She's really.
yeah, she might be. So she went on to say, so I think why when you should be so happy you've got that are still taking it out on people that haven't got the same beliefs. That's what I don't understand. Yeah, she doesn't understand much that isn't in the Bible, it seems. Right. But I got to hand it to her. This crotchety old broad could play. Across her amateur professional career, she won 1180 out of 1,287 matches. They called her the Aussie Amazon for her supreme fitness, and I suspect her taste for pussy. At the majors, once singles, doubles, and mixed titles.
Too much?
I think she protests way too much, Mark.
Yeah.
She trounces the record of Venus 64-39. The 64 she predicts with good reasons. No one's going to touch that, she says. So she was also quick to point out that she played far less years than Serena, saying, quote, Serena has played 7 years more than I did. I finished in my early 30s. People forget that I took 2 years off. I retired thinking I would never return to tennis. I got married, had a baby, but then I came back and won 24 out of 25 tournaments. How do you like that, Serena? Yeah. Court then got real old white lady nasty with it. The interviewer brought up the fact that Serena came back after having kids, and Court replied, yeah, well, quote, I came back after 2 babies. And after having the first baby, I won 3 out of 4 slams. And Serena hasn't won a slam since. And she's probably not a good mother either.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, the body slam at the end was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Do you think Margaret Court was like the water boy and she pictured playing against like lesbians?
Yeah. I mean, look at her. Is this woman not an old lesbian or what? And to those who say Court would get trounced by the supremely athletic Williams if Court were to play in today's world, Court had to answer for that too. She said, I would love to have played in this era. I think it's so much easier. How I would love to have taken the family and friends and posse along with me, but I couldn't. I had to go on my own or with the national team. Now they can take off whatever they want, fly back whenever they want. We didn't have psychologists or coaches with us. It's a whole different world. That's what disappointed me. The players today didn't honor the past of the game. And with that, Court left the interview to go yell at some gays who had snuck on their property and were blowing each other by the pool. She said, knock that off.
You know how many, so many gays definitely fuck on her in her eye line.
Oh, yeah.
Just to stick it to her.
So this is like this is hilarious.
Want to go blow each other? Those guys from Melbourne from Mad Monday
should go over to Court's house.
They go definitely suck each other off on Court's property from time to time.
That's a funny prank.
But what an old bitch. I mean, this is like Nicholas hating on Tiger when he retires, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the exact same thing. She's the greatest of all time. You know,
here she is in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a weird looking lady.
But it's really strange interview, especially the kids' remark, just hating on Serena for not being able to win after having kids, and you know,
what a cool $200,000 she made in prize money.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, she's got sour grapes.
Maybe she
you can tell by
that.
everything she says makes it very clear she's extremely bitter about it all.
Yeah,
she sure is. Well, good for her. All right, summer's over and school is back in session. But we're going to take a trip anyways, so go ahead and pack your bag.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
First up, we're headed to a place that desperately needs the tourism money, and I know this because they went way back in the balance sheet last week to the 1940s and said, hey, Germany, by the way, you owe us $1 trillion for the most recent time you went full Germany and tried to take over the world, the one when you did the Nazi thing. Of course, I'm talking about Poland.
Yes.
A country who deserves the tourism after their great humanitarian efforts taking in all the Ukrainian refugees. Wait, what's that? Archaeologists in Poland dug up a suspected medieval vampire this weekend? Well, I guess Poland's back off the travel list.
Whew, that's so rough
dumb.
for everybody.
They're so dumb. Why are they doing this?
Doesn't that sound like a classic Polish joke? What did the Polish archaeologists dig up? A formerly trapped vampire.
Yeah.
Right. Unsealed it from its
original sin.
Yeah.
I have another Polish archaeologist joke. What's another name for a top of their field Polish archaeologist?
I don't know what.
A cat owner. You know, they get excited when they're doing the litter. Oh, what's this? Another turd. I've been trying.
I thought you were going to say like construction worker or something, but that makes sense.
I've been trying to work an archaeologist cat litter joking for a while. I'm not sure if that's the one that's going to make the stand-up routine, but there's something about there's something about scoop and litter being the worst form of archaeology, like the shittiest form. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anyways, back to the morons in Poland. They dug up this old ass body of a woman who was you can see she has a sickle placed around her neck so that if she were to like rise from the dead, she would decapitate herself. She also had a protruding tooth. You can see
That's
here.
real smart of him.
Yeah, and a lot.
Oh, she had a deformity.
It's a trap.
So
Yeah.
they thought she was.
Put
a
it right here,
vampire.
so if she gets up real fast, she'll cut her head off.
Exactly. Wes.
Foolproof, bro.
You notice how far away it is from her jawline? She could just wiggle right out of that.
Yeah,
But
That vampire bitch is fucked.
if she
No, she's
doesn't-
gonna be dazed, bro. She's gonna be out of it.
They're so stupid. Apparently, she also had like a lock on her big toe, and all of these.
You should make a shirt of that that just says Polish vampire trap.
Yeah,
It's just a saw placed on the floor.
Look how far off it is. Like you could totally just wiggle out of that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like so for people who can't see the picture,
grab it and move
it's,
it.
It's a bow saw, like
Yeah.
but the bow side has the saw on it, and then there's nothing really holding her back from just wiggling out.
I don't even know if they put
Yeah.
the sharp side down.
It
Maybe.
looks
Yeah,
like the teeth
maybe.
are down.
Yeah, okay.
but it's a weird setup.
So apparently, like all of these indicate that she was a vampire back in the day, pre-Bram Stoker and pre-internet. Back in medieval times, they were super into believing in vampires too. People would tell tales at the pubs as early as the 11th century. But oftentimes what they would do with suspected vampires is actually just cut their head off instead of placing a sickle several inches away from their neck. But this
Wait, did you sharpen the saw? Oh, yeah, I thought you sharpened the saw.
This is what Poland does. Instead of going ahead and cutting the heads off, they just tried to trap them.
Was she buried alive?
I don't. It was well. The other thing is they were digging her up in a 17th century cemetery in Poland. So these idiots are just smiling and digging up suspected vampires from a 500-year-old cemetery.
Why are they
400-year-old
just
cemetery.
digging up a cemetery? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that's what's going on.
coins.
In Poland. John L left this comment on the internet saying, "So wait a second, they're not going to dig it up, are they?"
Oh no, John, you missed it.
They already
they are.
did.
It's too late, John.
They dug it up,
They
John.
already did, John.
I think so, Mark. You put one photograph up there that looked like it had an odd tooth.
Yes.
Is that?
I don't know if that's part of the vampirism. That's obviously a very disgusting tooth. Maybe it's a fake tooth that vampires used to like, yeah. But
tooth.
they
You
also
think she
said
just had a tooth deformity and everybody thought she was a vampire? Like
most
that?
likely, hopefully for Poland's sake. Otherwise, they just released a vampire. But probably more likely that will. But
Either way, very Polish, right?
yeah. They like to brag about it. Oh,
One or
we
the
just
other.
dug up a vampire. It's the most Polish story of all time. All right, and now we are flying over Canada, but not landing because if they don't euthanize you for being sad or poor, you might get stabbed there. Sad one here over Labor Day weekend as two brothers and psychopaths in their early 30s allegedly stabbed about 30 people in 13 different locations in James Smith Cree Nation and the village of Weldon, which is in central Saskatchewan. Police believe that the suspects, one of which was found dead yesterday from wounds, that were not self-inflicted, and the other one who's still on the run but believed injured, targeted some victims while others were just selected at random and stabbed. Not going to name the suspects because we don't name mass shooters, and we're certainly not going to name mass stabbers on this show. But I hope the other one who's injured has a severe injury to his groin while he's about to get caught. So far at least 10 of the stabbing victims
that's
have
horrible.
died. Yeah, they killed over 10 people, or 10 people as of now. 18 are hospitalized. Some had to be medevaced in helicopters. Just more bad news for Indigenous people in Canada. Tough stretch for them. To be fair, it's been a rough go for them in North America altogether, right, for a while now. Just ask sitting duck, I mean bull. Am I right?
Right.
Not a fair.
Yeah, tough to be an indigenous anywhere where the old Europeans come in.
That's right.
It's just gonna be decades or centuries of torture, probably.
Yeah.
So
slow
and
and
our
painful eradication.
white hands,
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
yeah, Canada's just continuing the legacy. Right.
Yeah, lots of bad stuff going on in Canada. Hey, but let's not end with that depressing story. Let's go check in on a flight off the coast of Latvia that crashed into the Baltic Sea, killing all 4 people aboard, that had no pilot this weekend. It was a ghost plane with no one in the cockpit.
What?
No, that's depressing too. Let's not do that one. It was a Cessna 551 private jet with no pilot. Okay, I guess it's possible. They're saying maybe the pilot took off and then left the cockpit to go sit in the back with passengers he'd already incapacitated to die with them in a murder. So you know what? Let's move on from that one too. That's no good.
That was bloody, Mark. You were right. You guaranteed it at the top. That's bloody.
Not a good one. That's not good. Okay, how about this one? School is back pretty much everywhere, including Russia, right? Which went back to school on September 1st, and the new curriculum this year for Russian kids aged 10 to 15 is that fighting for and dying for your motherland is nothing to fear, and that the motherland's happiness is worth more than life itself. And they're reading letters from Russian soldiers who are capturing and killing people in Ukraine and cheering in the class. You know what? That's going to do it for the TikTok International Moment. Everything is terrible. I have not returned the rock yet. Lost all my sports bets this week.
Oh, Mark, you got to get the rock.
It's a real ghost plane scenario ongoing over here, guys. It's a real ghost plane.
We got to do that this week, man.
It's a real ghost plane.
How far away
I'm not
is
going
this
to do it
place
by
from
myself.
your house?
I know.
15 minutes. I'm not going to do it from. I'm not going to do it
I'm
myself.
I'm coming over Thursday, and we're going to do it.
Okay. Let's do it Thursday.
You got to get it done.
There's an NFL game on Thursday.
Yeah, let's do it before.
The rock, carrying the rock into the football season is. It's
irresponsible.
It is. It really is. It's reckless. It's reckless.
I'm slowly becoming an indigenous person over here.
Yeah, Mark's
with
just
what I'm doing. I'm doing to myself.
Well, the rock is cursing you to becoming a Canadian indigenous person.
It's an appropriate comparison, I feel.
I think the rock is. That's what it's. The curse has been assigned to you. Yeah. Okay,
what are you doing to me, Rock?
Yeah,
the rock is doing something bad to Mark. We can tell. Okay,
and everyone.
And everybody, us by association. Get rid of that rock, Mark.
Virginia Tech lost to ODU. LSU lost.
Yeah, LSU. Come on, man. All right, get rid of the rock, Mark. All right, we're counting on you. Okay, one last lightning round to close things up today.
I'm living on the edge of a lightning bolt, and I do not apologize for that.
Okay, so this is 5 lightning quick updates to help you get caught up over the long weekend. Because we caught you up on pretty much everything, but not all of it. Here's the rest. Okay, first up, world news. Taiwan is going to start letting Americans and Canadians come through visa-free starting next week as they relax their COVID protocols. Unlike mainland China, they're just locking down millions at a time over there. So,
that is really cool, but you run the risk of getting stuck there forever when the war goes down.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's also probably why they're. I mean, think about it. They want Canadians and Americans to have easy access. That makes a lot of sense. Okay,
yes, they want them over there so they have to participate in the war when people are trapped over there. Yeah,
we can roll through visa free Taiwan anytime starting next week, which is good news because the dollar is flexing on the haters. Thanks to the Fed starting to control inflation, hopefully, and energy crises and other crises everywhere else in the Western world.
You can get a hand job in Taiwan for 5 cents.
You probably could right now. Wes, this is the strongest dollar since 2002, everybody. Nice. So take advantage right now if you want to buy anything that's foreign. This is
suck at the yen.
Yeah, suck at everything. The dollar's stronger it's been since 2002. Okay.
All I have is a dime.
Dime.
We may all be headed into right, exactly. That's the problem. Was not many people have money saved up right now because the whole world may be headed into a recession. But that's different, So whatever. If you got the cash, Wes, which none of us do, spend it on some foreign shit right now. Okay. Another bit of foreign news before we move on. There's a Mad Honey documentary. It's about guys in Nepal who climb insane cliffs, Nepalese cliffs to
heard about this.
Capture the Mad Honey, which we saw the bear go crazy of in Turkey a couple weeks ago. So there's a documentary being shared on Instagram by this guy, Jorge Heathen, and it's about these Mad Honey Nepalese.
So they're using this
honey hunters.
They're like a shaman. These guys basically.
Yes, it's so good. These guys are willing to risk their lives to get the honey.
It's such great drugs. Yeah.
This is on Netflix?
Hallucinogenic honey. I have no idea. It's just being shared on Instagram. This guy, Jorge Heathen. And check his page out if you want to see. Yeah, I think he just posted the whole thing.
Can you just pay to wait at the village and wait for them to bring it back to you?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no, they said it's like a hot commodity
with them, right?
No, Mark. It's like
was that pizza?
Yeah.
It's like
You guys
your
get
garden
pizza?
variety street drugs anywhere else.
Okay.
You know, it's
All
just,
right.
these
How much
ones
did you
are
get?
these ones are sourced out of caves. High
Crazy
little-
psychos, go ahead.
I feel a little sick. I'm gonna hang back.
You telling me I can just pay you for the drugs after you get back from the honey cave?
Yeah. All right. I'll see. Good luck. I'll see you.
Yeah.
You guys back already?
You guys got stung a lot.
You guys look less in numbers. Yeah.
Whoa, you're really numb.
Yeah. I think they're back, guys, based on the eyes being swollen shut.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Speaking of being stung by bees to death, let's do a health news update. Second, emotional support animals, fellas, just got a little bit more badass after 69-year-old man named Joseph Henney in Jonestown, Pennsylvania, shared his story of Walligator. Have you seen this, guys?
Oh.
This is Walligator. That's Joseph's emotional support gator who sleeps in the bed with Joe.
Oh, that thing doesn't have anything on its mouth.
No,
No, it doesn't
he
mess
is
with Joe.
unmuzzled. He just loves Joe. Joe and Walligator spend all the hours of the day together. Wally West is actually 7 years old, so the 70-pound, 5.5 foot long gator, emotional support gator, is well known around town and has not bitten Joe in his sleep, amazingly, and also nobody else in that entire 7 years.
It's a
which is
small
incredible.
gator for 7 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean,
Well, more dangerous: 60-pound gator or 60-pound pit bull?
70-pound.
70-pound gator or 70-pound pit bull?
70-pound pit bull, easily.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
Wow.
the gator, bro.
No, pit bull.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Wes, do you think he should be? This thing
Pitbull's
should
way
be
more
taken
nimble.
away from him?
Wow.
Or
He
think
hasn't bitten
Joe-
anyone. Yeah, I mean, Joe probably shouldn't have the gator walking around without.
he takes it on buses, Wes. He takes it
without
on
a muzzle.
public
That's
places.
a lawsuit's going to happen to Joe. very
Bad
soon.
form.
Well, Joe is actually a seasoned reptile handler, and he says that this is a special crocodilian.
So are a lot of guys with no hands, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. Joe seems to have a handle on that. Amazing stuff. Whether he hopefully we hope that he keeps his appendages intact. He's already 69. He only has a little bit more, to go without getting him bitten off. Now, that was the light side of
The
the
gator's
U.S.
just
Now,
waiting for him to die, and he's gonna feast.
oh, he's gonna have a big meal that day. Yeah, I'd like a pit bull. I think it would eat you. You know. Okay, that was the lighter side of the U.S. Now to the dark side of the U.S. American crime, fellas. Despite spending tens of billions of taxpayer money, NASA has scrubbed the Artemis mission launch until at least October, since the SLS rocket that's allegedly the most powerful, but definitely the most expensive rocket ever built in the history of mankind, can't load its fuel properly. So I would call that an American crime against the people. That's a lot of money.
Is this going to be unmanned when they first
we're
launch it?
shitting down that rocket. Oh yeah, this is for an unmanned test, Mark.
This
It's
is
not even going to land on the
pathetic.
moon.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
It's a
it's for an
test, though.
unmanned test. It's not going to land on the moon. And also another crime update in Coweta County, Georgia. Is that how you say it? Coweta County, Georgia. They're looking for what appears to be a long-haired man who has wet bandit style from Home Alone caused $4,000 worth of plumbing damage on 2 new construction homes after clogging the kitchen sinks and letting them run to flood the houses. It is believed that the individual lives in the area of Martin Mill Road and Oak Creek Trail. So
What a
be
menace.
on the lookout for a wet bandit.
Oh, I've told you guys this before, but when the construction site behind my house in my neighborhood, me and my buddies, when we were like, 8, 9, 10, we just broke every window on these new
Oh,
homes.
yeah.
And
That's
the
a
cops
classic
came.
drunk
we
activity.
were like, it was like $30,000 worth of damage at least.
The windows were way worse than this guy. I
Yeah.
can't believe that they're in a tizzy over this guy who just clogged the things.
Did they ever get you guys?
No, the cops.
Dude, they
came
never
around
get
and-
window breakers.
Yeah, the cops came into our neighborhood because they knew that the construction people saw us running away towards our neighborhood, and they questioned all of our moms. And our moms were going to fess up because we broke so many fucking windows. It would have been like, a big bill.
So Wes,
Have
you know
your
the
badge
reason.
number. What's your badge number?
That's what you'd say to the cops.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
you're-
rich resting parents.
Probably.
Well, they have your badge number. You see the car in the
pre-badge
driveway?
number.
You may want to look in Herndon.
No. This I think the reason they don't publicize that, Wes, the windows and also brass being stolen out of homes, I don't think they like publicize it or go after individuals, probably because they don't want like people to know how often it happens.
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
It happens a lot. Anyways, they're going after this wet bandit guy for some reason. Okay, second to last, climate change, guys. If you think that was bad, the wet bandit in Georgia, get this. Climate change has gotten so bad that apparently it spurred a climate apocalypse preparation trend among the ultra-rich in America. The Guardian reports that the ultra-rich have become hyper-obsessed with building survival bunkers. An interview with billionaire tech executives revealed that many of them believe societal collapse is inevitable. So they are spending a lot of their vast resources on bunkers and private police in places like Alaska and New Zealand in preparation for either climate change disasters, rising sea levels, mass migrations, global pandemics, nativist panics, aka civil war, and or resource depletion. So
if you thought the stories that came out of Epstein Island were bad, imagine when they start spilling the tea on some of the sex crimes that go down in survival bunkers from billionaires.
The tech billionaire bunkers. Yeah.
There's going to be some depravity going on in the survival bunkers.
It's going to get wild. Yeah. What's crazy to me is that liberal Bay Area investors are now becoming apocalypse preppers.
Yeah.
Which
they just want to bring girls down there and do drugs and then like have sex with them in their bunkers.
I mean, if that doesn't
prove cameras, that
the political spectrum is a horseshoe, I don't know what does. Which finally brings us to the energy sector. In the last few days, Russia cut off natural gas to Europe indefinitely. And OPEC said that they're going to actually decrease oil production. So naturally, U.S. natural gas and oil prices are remaining at near record highs all the time right now.
So the guy who was in charge of the number 2 oil company in Russia was probably against this, and that's why he fell out of a window.
Yeah, probably so. Because then they threw him off the window.
He's like, let's not cut it off completely, though. And then,
right after that, they're like, you know what? We're going to cut it off altogether. You know, Mark, it seems like maybe Europe might need the U.S. to make more oil and gas since they're not, they're getting cut off by Russia and OPEC all at the same time as they're probably sliding into a recession, But, but nah, fuck that. Let's not make money on, oil, gas, or weed. Let's just stick with the expanding portfolio of arms deals, right? So,
yeah,
and also more taxes too. Arms deals and taxes, right? Let's just stick with those. That's for Uncle Sam to decide, and I think he's made that decision. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor. And that means that it's wheel time.
Wheel time. Here we
go. Wheel. It's like a 2-armed quarterback. Always right. He knows all.
You can see the defense.
Yeah.
All right, Will has got the coffee the big time.
Wes, the W's.
Wes. All right, total switcheroo. Love it. Switcheroo from today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please share our social media videos wherever you waste your time on the internet. But most importantly, get out there and have a great fucking day.
Patreon.com/Hard Factor. Hard Factor. Cheat on the news.